Yesterday again, we had a meeting, tagged conciliatory meeting at the Ministry of Labour, between the CBN and the Ministry of Labour and the NLC. And there, we agreed that at the end of our next meeting today, we are going to make pronouncement, on the situation so far. And we have been meeting since morning at our next level, with reports coming from all the states of the Federation and local governments on the level of compliance of banks. And we are happy to tell you that, yes, there is compliance by CBN. But the NLC, after its next meeting, doubted the sustainability of that compliance. And we don't want to be calling you back after 2 days for another action. And we felt that we have to monitor this compliance for the next 2 weeks to see whether it is sustainable. Because they have rushed to move money to commercial banks. And some of those commercial banks are getting empty again. Queues are returning in some of them. So it will be very naive for the Congress to hurriedly call off the action. Whereas we are not shutting down tomorrow, we want to loosen up for another 2 weeks with committees set up at the national level and in all the states of the Federation to coordinate the level of compliance. There are some banks that equally didn't open for weekend. And by this press briefing, we equally wish to advise the CBN to play the role of regulators. They should play their regulatory policy, programs, because they can sanction banks that are not compliant. People are hurrying to withdraw money from their accounts, and one wouldn't know the level at which CBN is equally, pushing money to the banks. The first and second days, they say they pushed about the money that they were pushing per week, they were pushing it daily. I wouldn't know whether they are still doing that today. A cloth that has been dirty all this while, it's not easy to just wash it with only one soap. So they had constrained the banking sector. Nigerians have suffered so much. Even those that have gone to withdraw 10 naira are afraid of bringing it out in case this will start again. And if there is no sustainable policy and assurance that if you spend this money, you can still go to the bank and withdraw, the whole panicky situation will continue. So the NLC have decided and TUC to equally allow tomorrow to pass without any shutdown or picketing, but to watch the next 2 weeks. After 2 weeks from today, the neck of the two centers will meet again and decide whether the CBN has actually complied and whether their compliance is actually sustainable to drive the economy.
We in TUC, we equally had a NEC meeting on Sunday and we had another NEC meeting today. And part of this also is to reevaluate the level of compliance. And as I've always said in several fora, that the most patriotic Nigerians you could ever see are the employees and are members of NLC and members of TUC. These are the people that toil around on a daily basis to ensure that this country remains a going concern. These are the people that ensure that there are there is productivity in this country. These are the people, when you hear GDP, these are the people that are ensuring that our GDP continuously grow. So in anything we do, we must put the people first. We must ensure that their welfare and their interest is placed paramount above any other interest. As we've always said, most of the politicians, they have 2 passports, but an average Nigerian worker is condemned to remain in Nigeria. So we must do everything possible to protect the Nigerian workers and indeed the Nigerian masses. So just as he has said, I think he has addressed a lot of the issues that we have agreed on. We are completely aligned that we have to sustain this push. We have to sustain this pressure for another 2 weeks, because when the report came across the various states, yes, there have been some level of compliance. And as he has said as well, some banks refused to comply and refused to open, and they did not open weekend. We hereby also call on CBN and also encourage them that they should sustain this action, because the quantum of money they need now is even much more than the money that they would have required if this panic has not come in. Because an average Nigerian today will withdraw money, and when he withdraws the money, he'll be spending it little by little. He prefers to withdraw money, keep the money at home, and at the end of the day, be doing transfers here and there. So the confidence in the system has been eroded. Because that confidence has been eroded, CBN needs to do much more. They need to pump much more money into the Nigerian economy. If they had withdrew 2 trillion, 3 trillion, they need to even put much more than that for that confidence to restore. If that confidence has restored back and we have returned back to normalcy, then they can now go back to start monitoring and using all their fiscal tools or their monetary tools as it deemed fit.
There is victory for us in the struggle for our members. There is victory for us. Forward, ever, backwards, never. In the struggle.